Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. And I wanted to show something, man. I was really upset about this when I got this in the mail. Uh, Today we're drinking our Trump coffee in Mr. Crispin's mug. And if you're a machinist, you know who Mr. Crispin is, and you know he is a good machinist. Uh, anyway, I just got finished working on a zero turn. I had to put the belt on it, and somebody took the sticker off of the deck, or it didn't have one on it, and I didn't know how to route the belt, so I had to download this and print it out and bring it out here. I need a printer in the shop. No, I don't. But anyway, let me move some of this stuff. This jack. What's wrong with this picture, guys? Let me stand that up there and let you guys get a good side view of what's wrong with this picture. What do y'all see wrong with that picture? I see three things wrong with this picture. Number one, the handle is beat all to hell. Paint's chipped off of it. It has indications of oil leaking out of these holes around these pins that hold this on. I don't know how that's happening. So apparently these holes go all the way through, which is a terrible idea. But anyway, this thing here, the shutoff, or the bleeder, is plastic. Plastic, guys. And then when you get it tight, it springs back. So I'm going to see about seeing if these are universal. If they are, I'll take one out of an old jack that ain't no good and put in this. I do have an old jack here that don't work. But I got this because when I was working on my truck the other day, I realized that I didn't have nothing to take care of a flat tire if I'm out on the road somewhere. I didn't have no jack. I got a spare, but spare ain't no good if you ain't got no way to get it loose and off. So I needed a jack for the truck because it's a pretty heavy truck. So I figured I'd get a 20-ton to upgrade my press. Because right now I've got my Harbor Freight press right here. This one here I tried to rebuild, but I can't get nothing out of it. So I'm hoping that this will fit my other one. So this one is a 12-ton. And I'm going to take and put the 20-ton on here, and then I'm going to use this in the truck. And I made my handle for this one. Just like that. Nice and pretty. So we'll probably make a handle for this one here. But let me show you why that jack looks like that. This was delivered today by UPS. This is the box that it came out of. And all I did was cut that right across here. The inside of that box, there was nothing in there. Everything that's in there was what was in there with this. The only thing that was padded was the handles. These look like they have been through war. They have been beat to death. So they need repainted. So, and this is a piece of junk anyway. That just goes in there and you have to keep pressure on it to keep it from falling back out. Junk. Guys, I hope this jack ain't as junky as this is. But these here were supposed to keep those together. They look like a barrel band for a little gun, don't they? But these were supposed to keep these together, and they were not together. It was all in this bag in 3 different pieces. And it's supposed to go like that. And then it was supposed to go like this. But it didn't make it here like that. It might have started its life off in this box like that, but it didn't end like that. I mean, this box has 1 piece of paper in it. I guess this is what they're using for filler. This 1 piece of paper and this. I think that maybe they thought that was going to keep this big heavy jack from moving around inside that box. But it had been taped up before, because it was so beat up on this side, it looked like somebody had taken it across the ground or concrete and just scraped it until there was nothing left of that whole corner. So, you know, this box has been through war. And you can see oil in the cardboard clear up here. And that is coming from where this part, or no, this side here, or no, this side was up against it. Because it wouldn't have hit this side, because his handle would have kept it from hitting it. So it had to have been this side. But then that means that it was hit again to push it that way, because this would have been straight. You know, that's ridiculous. That is a packaging error. That thing should have had all kinds of stuff in there and a heavier box. So these jacks actually should be shipped with a wood-lined box. So the jack works fine. Let me get my handle. And we'll do an extensive test here. I don't like that plastic. So we're going to close that off. Get you all down here in view. And we're just going to test it this way. I need to put a pin in this right here to keep that handle from going in too far. Because eventually it starts working its way up and you end up doing this and you don't realize it until you realize it, and then you have to pull it back out. So need a stop right there on the end. I'm sure it works just fine. But it's just the point that, you know, you look at it in a picture and you think, oh man, that thing is pretty, it's not in bad shape, it looks like it might be a good product. But then they package it like that and you get it and it turns out bent. So I'm just putting a little weight on this. Yep, it works just fine. But I would like to replace that. I'm going to find out what threads is on that, see if I can't take that out, and might just make me a new one on the lathe. But I'm not going to do anything to this until I get a reply back from him, because by rights, he owes me a little bit of money back for this. You know, my time's worth something too, and if I got to go back and fix something where he messed up, by God, I need to get paid too. Right? Right. I knew y'all seen my way. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here, right? Anyway, let's just update you on the Troy-Bilt. I'll take my coffee while we walk. I'm working on this thing right now. I'm waiting on parts from Partzilla.com. We're waiting on the shifting gears. I just put a muffler in this thing. Let's just call this an update. video. I just put a new Y pipe in this and a new muffler, but before I could do that, some JA went and welded up a piece of frame that went from this side to that side. So what they done was they had plated this, which was not a bad idea, plating that, but they made the mount too high and created a problem for this bracket right here. It was up into where the muffler would not go in that hole no more. So I had to build a bracket to mount the rear end to, and I used round stock that was heavier than what was in it originally, because originally it was really thin. So this one actually can be unbolted and bolted back in. So if you ever need to take the rear end out, that would make life a little bit easier by just taking these two quarter 20 bolts out on each side, and this bolt, pull that whole bracket out of the way and you got some room. But we got that straightened up. Then he had some problems with the shifter, and behind here you got 2 gears. So I've ordered all them gears. The teeth are about half gone on them. So we're fixing that. We also found this laying underneath there, which is for the carburetor heater, to heat the carburetor or the fuel up. And the one pin is missing, and it pulled out, and there was still a spring on the end of this. So I pulled it out and unplugged it from the pin. I still got it. I don't know if it's something that screws up in there or what, but in order to find out, you'd have to look at another carburetor and see what's on the bottom of it and how it's formed. I may have one, I don't know. I did have a Grizzly 650 or something like that carburetor. It might be the same. It's Yamaha, so we don't know. But that thing's been well mistreated. He wanted me to buy that thing for $3,000. He lost his mind. That thing ain't worth $500 to me, because I'd have to totally rebuild it. But anyway, we have mowed with it, and we got the Big Bear out today. And she runs pretty good. I'm gonna start this thing up and show you guys it working. It's going to take some getting used to, because I'm not used to an automatic, and it's a little touchy for me. But anyway, What do you think, guys? You think Bison did an alright job? I also put LED headlights in it. I just went and got the LED bulbs. And I got to polish this up, clean them up. I think you can take these apart and clean them out. So the chrome in there needs to be cleaned up. It's got a lot of dust in it where it's been sitting around with nothing in the holes. So, but it does have a weak starter, and I kind of had a feeling that that was going to be the case. So I just have to wait until one of my subscribers sees I need one and sends me one. The Gen 3. Oh shit. But when it's running, it's charging at 14 volts. I think that's a little high, but I think they put that heavy of an alternator on it simply because it's got an electric PTO on it, so that draws a lot of current. So I would venture to say that's why that's the case. I'm used to 13, 13.5, something like that. But it shifts good. The deck lowers and raises just fine. And this is the way I ended up having to do it, because I figured out that there's really no other way of doing it, because if you turned it up the other way, it would be hitting into the tie rods. So it only made sense that it went that way, downward. So now we've got a pretty decent mower. It's got a little bit of a shake to it. I replaced all the pulleys, and the belt's got a little shake in it. So all the pulleys are in there, so there's nothing missing, and everything's replaced. So all the idler pulleys are replaced except for the idler pulley on the rear end, and that one ain't the problem. So but yeah, I wanted to show you guys that jack, and this ended up being a shop update video. So that thing cut pretty good. You can't hardly tell that it's cut because I just cut 3 or 4 days ago. It's still a little tall where it was. You can tell barely. I didn't want to make too much of a mess. Hey, look at there. We got a deer over on the bridge. Right over there. Way over where my finger at. Somewhere over there. Right there, I believe. Yep, somebody's coming. Can't point you in that direction. No, you put me on video. Anyway, yeah, guys, if you guys are packing something and you're one of these guys that does this, don't do that. Put something, I mean, at least give it a fighting chance. You know, fold that down until it's there, and even strap it with a piece of twist tie or something, you know, just to keep it down there against it. That way it's not swinging back and forth while it's in the box, just getting beat all to pieces. So it's the wrong damn kind of handle for this thing anyway. It should be a weld-on handle like that other one over there. See what that looks like. That works good. Anyway, don't forget to like, share. I done lost my coffee. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.